Hello and welcome to Chess with Simon. I'm Simon. We're going to play somebody at chess. We're going to see what happens. We are black. And today we are going to do a nice fianchetto. We're going to do a nice fianchetto, whatever white does. Oh, what a game. That was fantastic. Let's try again. Okay, we're going to do a nice fianchetto, whatever black does. I don't know. I mean, why not? We're just going to develop the bishop and see what happens. Develop the bishop, see what happens. E5, yeah. So now we're going to play D3 so that when we play knight F3, we don't get attacked. Look, black's really going for it. Okay, so now black can play E5, but probably won't. Should we just castle? I mean, wouldn't you? So this is an Austrian attack reversed, but of course black is a tempo down. Now the big decision. Do we play E4? E4, pawn takes, knight takes. E4, pawn takes, we take, takes, knight takes, and we're just a pawn down. C4, pawn takes, queen A4, bishop here. I think C4 is quite good, isn't it? I know C4 is kind of a book move in the reversed version. C4 is a sensible move. I mean, but black can do a million things. Black can play bishop here, bishop here. I mean, at the end of the day, I think what's going to happen is these two pawns get exchanged. Unless black plays d4, then you get kind of like a Benoni type structure like this. And then, yeah, I do mean a Benoni. And then we play e3 and we undermine the center. So there are some risks along the e file, right? Like, okay, so taking isn't wrong, but it's not terribly normal. So this is the question, bishop or pawn? So let's just make some moves. Pawn takes. Bishop here. There's no d4, is there? Bishop takes. Bishop there. Push the pawn. We can push the pawn, right? I mean, I quite like that. So likely will happen, bishop e7, push the pawn. And I guess black's going to be tempted to play this, but I don't think it's that good. Because then, for instance, we go here. Takes, the knight's hanging. Honestly, I think we're pretty good. And I think black's pawn structure is built for attack. But actually, with the queens off, there's much less potential. Okay, surprised me, because now I can just spoil the queenside pawn structure and just develop. Do I need asking twice? I mean, everybody likes a good structure. Then we just develop and we just say, what's the problem for white here? Bishop b6, pawn b3, queen. So I think there's an attempt here to drum up a kingside attack. And I think it's our job to stop that. And we're going to stop that by just bursting through the centre. I know that means I'm slightly straightening out the pawns, but at the end of the day, we're not having some horrible kingside attack. No, that's not nice. We're going to see takes, maybe. We're going to take with the knight. Takes, check, we win the rook. Lovely, thank you. Takes, knight takes, check, wins the rook. Well, unless you put the bishop in the way, in which case you win the bishop. Takes, knight takes, threatening the fork. The knight's got it. It's actually a really good move. I suppose black could not take. Or takes, look, we have it. We're threatening this, so takes wins the rook. We're threatening this. It's a really nice knight, that. And I think what's happened is black's been ambitious in terms of trying to, play the most aggressive line and trying to build up a kingside attack. But, white still has the first move. And so I'm not saying I play perfect moves, but as long as white plays good moves positionally, black can't just overrun white. Like now, what? And the answer probably is bishop d6. Probably defends everything. Yeah. But then what about push? Doesn't that win? I mean, doesn't that win? Because the knight, if you take the knight as check, you win the rook. The bishop moves. I suppose the bishop can move like here, right? But what about takes, check? That does win the rook in the corner. How amusing. Takes, check, wins the rook. Doesn't it? Oh, no, it doesn't, because the bishop's going to block. The bishop's going to block. Okay, so that was a bit quick, but okay. So we'll... I think we're still better. But this check isn't actually... it isn't actually winning. It's a shame, because we always like to win. Bishop here, I assume. Because bishop here loses, because then this check is actually... Oh, no, it's not the end, because the bishop still can block. The rook's still defended. But if we can remove this rook, then maybe it does win. If we can remove this rook, you know, let's try to... So, for instance, rook here takes, queen takes, then the check wins the rook. Rook here, where we can pin it. Rook here is hanging on by the look of it. It's not very comfortable, though, but it's hanging on. Rook here... Well, I think we take the bishop. But, you know, you'd much rather be... So here we pin. So that's attacking this rook, right? And then what? What does the rook do? I guess the bishop goes here, maybe. But then we take here and we win. So I think this is quite spicy. I like spice. King is safe. This king is a little bit troubled. Look, there's pins going on. Is that a really good move, is it? Does that win a piece? Oh, it doesn't quite, but look, I've got this so wrong. So this doesn't quite win a piece because I go here. But I've messed up. Just one of those things. So now, my opponent might even take there. Although I think that's quite risky. It's not impossible. But takes. Obviously I had to come back and defend the bishop. Yeah. Maximalist, right? Go for it. I'm not saying it's wrong. But it's certainly very ambitious. So we could hit the bishop and develop, or we could hit the pawn. Come on, should we just develop? Let's follow the golden rules. There's no push because we take with the bishop. Well, bishop takes, pawn takes, rook takes. I wouldn't push, but you got to think about it. If they push, bishop takes, or just play pawn takes, bishop takes, rook takes, and then this hangs. That's the point, I think. This hangs. So the bishop's got to move. I want to play bishop here, although I'm not sure about that. So I had a nice advantage until I let this c6 thing happen. Bishop there, yeah. Okay, what about bishop here? Do we believe it? We don't really believe it, do we? Bishop here, I think the queen's got to take. Okay, let's just. I think if the queen takes, can we take here with the rook, and then the check here, and then the rook goes in the way, then you pick up that rook. I think if the queen takes, right. So this is my theory, right? Rook takes, check. Rook in the way, you pick up that rook. But rook takes, check. Queen in the way, check at the back. King there. It's rubbish. I don't think it quite works. And also, yeah, it just feels high risk factor. So let's do something low risk factor. Just try to invade. Check at the back. It's a nice move. It's just positionally a nice move. What are we? Oh, pawn up. They're a pawn up. Well, it's only a pawn, isn't it? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? We lose. This... Okay, look. I'm freestyling. I guess they're going to see this pawn here, aren't we? Yeah, I don't even know what I expected there, to be honest. Or even what I expect here. I suppose what I'm trying to do is to break up the pawn chain to give my bishop some scope. Give my bishop some action. What would have been better, actually, in retrospect, is bishop here with the threat of coming here. That's actually quite strong. And it's quite activating. This, now I think maybe you'll see push. Maybe then I push, but that's no good. So after push, I'll probably eat humble pie and do this, threatening the pin. It's a bit of humble pie. And so I've made two mistakes, really. The first is when I move my queen here to allow c6. Okay, that's fine, because this bishop's hanging, and this rook, there's a pin. But, you know, my opponent's a good player, right? So he knows what he's doing. So this. So I'm a pawn down. I've got compensation, but perhaps not enough. I think it's definitely drawable. I wouldn't expect to win this game. But I'm always happy to be surprised. Okay, so that would look like a chance to repeat. So what am I claiming here? Should we just do this and try to improve the position, thinking about a check here, which actually might be quite uncomfortable? I suppose pushing this pawn is always tempting for black, but I guess the king stops it in the end. Can black push here? Check. King there. So hang on. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. I've got a dark square here where I can stop all the nonsense. Because obviously on the light square I can be checked by the bishop. Check. King there. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, let's see if we can try to round up this pawn. So there's a move that goes takes rook here. Yeah, I think or maybe just rook here now. It was kind of weird. Rook takes, bishop takes. Or maybe bishop here. No. Yes, bishop here is actually correct. Crazy. Bishop here is playable. And then you just take the pawn because this rook is pinned. Should we just play it for the humour? I like humour. It makes me laugh. You can't take it because your rook's pinned. Takes, check. Bishop. So my idea is just to take the pawn. But is there a problem when the king moves? Does this bishop end up pinned? No, I'm scared. Okay, let's do this then. Takes. Now the rook's pinned, you can't take the bishop. So takes. We pick up the pawn and we've got what looks a lot like an equal endgame. You've got to take the rook, buddy. Haven't you? No, you've not got to take the rook. But you kind of have. Doesn't make any difference. We're just taking here. You can't take this with check. Your king gets taken. I think this is just an endgame. Now, what do we think of the endgame? Well, we have a pawn in a white square here. We'd rather that was on a dark square. I don't know what the thinking is here. I mean, okay, we can do that. So I've got to take the rook. Now, this endgame looks a bit like a draw, doesn't it? Do I want the bishops off? Yeah, probably. I probably want the bishops off. So this means I'm happy to exchange bishops. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I'm actually not sorry, but thank you, good game. I enjoyed that. So let's review it. Is it a case of sorry, not sorry? I mean, I am sorry, but I want to win. That free piece when you are half... Yeah, free piece always helps, right? So let's just look at the analysis. I think what interests me most is... Okay, look, d4 is a mistake. Wow. h3 is best. All right, fairs. Knight e5 is good. Yeah, knight d5 is great. Bishop d6. So we're a bit better here. Good move. Bad move. Queen c2. Defending the pawn. Rook e6 was bad. Okay. This was great, apparently. You see, this is what's so hard about chess. This was a good move. I thought it was a shocker. But also liked rook b8, which I understand. But this was bad. You've got to take on f5. f5 was free, and then you're defending the pawn. Okay, I missed that. So here... Bishop f1, yeah, bishop f1. Get that bishop around onto that lovely diagonal. Bishop h3 is alright. g4 is terrible. Bishop f1 it wants to play. Queen, it wants to play queen here. Yeah, of course. Queen h4 is great. Bishop f1. And then what happened was black is better. Black is better. But, you know, I've got a little bit of compensation. I've got a little... Well, it says I'm better now. Bishop e6 is bad. I've got to play rook e6. Yeah, I looked at rook e6. Okay. It likes the pin. It likes bishop f5 more. Takes. And then, in a work of genius, I offered a swap and my opponent missed it. Thank you very much. Good game. I hope you're all well.